Hi, this is Micornus, Phokane, the leader and the founder of the Young Men Empowerment Forum. When I'm back on a great topic today that speaks about things that you can control and those that you cannot control in your life. I want to speak about things that you can control and those that you cannot control in your life. And I want to speak about this because there are times when we just don't know what we can control. And we are overwhelmed with life because life is actually happening. Life is challenging us. We are meeting things that are very difficult. And most of the people are actually not able to cope with life purely because they are not aware of what are the things that they can control. And therefore they cannot know what they don't know what are things that they cannot control. Because immediately you start to learn to know what you can control and what you cannot control, you are a free person from that moment on. We need to know that as individuals. And as a young man, I want you to learn from this because that will help you to liberate yourself from actually trying to do things that you cannot control. Liberate yourself from things that you thought that you can control while you cannot control, and it frustrates you sometimes to an extent of not actually becoming normal and to an extent of becoming sick as well. Some of you are having high blood pressure, some of you are having diabetes mellitus because of the stress that you go through, because you just cannot differentiate what you can control and those things that you cannot control. And that's the reason why we want to speak about that. Now, the first thing that I want to speak about today is you can control your thoughts. Your thoughts you can control. And I want to emphasize that a young man who's able to control their thoughts is a victorious young man because you are able to restrain your thoughts that are evil and be able to allow yourself to think broadly about things that are progressive. Now, when I say you can control your thoughts, you can actually decide whether to think evil. You can decide also whether to think good. And you can actually expand as much as you can with the good things that you're planning to do. And that is why, as a young man, I want to emphasize that sometimes we dream, but our dreams are not well thought of. And we don't expand in our thought process about our dream. And that is why we fail to progress in our lives because of that. Now, you can control your thoughts, or to what extent can I think about this? You can control your thought to say, how broad should I think? How limited must I think about this? So you can either limit yourself or also allow yourself to expand in your thoughts and become a very, very successful young man. Now, I want to emphasize that allow good thoughts in your mind. Allow those progressive thoughts to be entertained. And progressive thoughts, entertain them more than enough in your life. Because when you entertain them more, you are going to actually set yourself up for the potential of success because you have entertained the thoughts that are very important. Business-minded thoughts, successful career thoughts, and all those type of thoughts are very, very important for you as a young man. Now, because there are things that are coming to our lives whereby we think that they are coming just by themselves, and you realize that the thoughts are actually very, very powerful in defining the pathway of your life. Thought process becomes actually the most important thing in your life to decide whether you succeed or you fail. And I must really say that, remember that the devil, when he wants to convince you to do something evil, it comes through your thoughts. And God also works through your thoughts as well to build something progressive in yourself. There is a saying that says you cannot control birds from flying over your head. You cannot control that. You cannot stop them. But you can surely stop them from building a nest on your head. And this is a very, very important statement that I always prefer, because when we understand that our thoughts can be controlled, it means that you cannot control thoughts from coming to your mind, but you can surely control whether they stay, whether you rebuke them, you refuse them, you agree to them, that you can control. And that's very, very important for a young man to know, because if you don't know that, then you may not know what to do with the thoughts. And there are evil thoughts, there are also good thoughts. But it's going to be very important for you to be able to sift those and differentiate them. And the reason is evil thoughts will lead you to evil behavior. It will lead you to evil habits as well. It will actually lead you to do actually a lot of evil things because of evil thoughts. Don't allow them to stay too long. Many people that are doing wrong things is because they meditate upon evil thoughts. But you must actually control yourself to say, evil thoughts, I don't allow them to stay in my mind. I kick them out immediately. I refuse them immediately. And I'm going to allow only good thoughts in my mind. That you got control of. And that's very, very important. What you have no control of is other people's thoughts. So you cannot control other people's thoughts. And I must really say that sometimes we are stressed and we feel ourselves very, very undermined and very much insulted by other people, very much disrespected by other people. And I must really say it's purely because of how people think. You cannot control how people think about you because others are thinking about you as an enemy. And that you cannot stop it because it's the thoughts of other people and you cannot control that. Many times we sit and cry because we think that people hate us. We think that people are talking bad about us. People are shunning us and walking away from us. And purely, generally, is because they think a certain way about us. And remember that if people think a certain way about us, therefore they will respond in a certain way. They will behave towards us in a certain way. And because of that, then you may take it personal that they are behaving wrongly towards you. But remember that you got no control over their thoughts. They think about that. They think whatever they think about you. And it is not your business because there's nothing that you can stop. You cannot control their thoughts about you. They decide how they think about you. There are people that think very low about you. Yes. And you may feel bad about it, but please get over it because what they think about you doesn't really matter anymore because they will think about that anyway, and you got no control of that. And that is why many people in relationships, they've always had a problem of how my partner think about me, how people think about me. You cannot control that. They will decide how they think about you. And some relationships are broken because of the thoughts of a particular spouse that you had, but you cannot control that. Now, they left you or they divorced you because of how they think. And you cannot control that. And that is why I want to urge people that have been divorced that please don't find as if life is the end of life because you cannot keep people that have thought they are leaving. I mean, if their thoughts tell them they are leaving you, if their thoughts tell them they are divorcing and leaving you, you cannot control that. And that's not something that is in your domain to control. And if they leave, good riddance, of course. And therefore, be careful not to sting and cling and hold on to people. If they think low about you, if they think that you are not good for them, please, it's their thoughts. Allow them to think the way they want to think. And if they leave you, as I said, as a result, let them leave. It is something that you cannot control as well. Now, people's thoughts are very vast, very different, unique as well. There are people that just think evil things all the way. And nothing you can control about that. And that is why many times even your own children, as a parent, you may find that your children think differently than you. Your children think differently from each other as well. And you cannot expect them to think the same way like you. And that is why it's very different. It's very important that we respect people's thoughts. We respect people's ideas because ideas come out of the thoughts of the people. So respect them. They may not be thinking like you. They may not be seeing things like you because of their thoughts. Their mental process is not the same like you. So please don't feel bad about it. There are many people that are undermining others because of the level of intelligence of other people. You feel now you are too intelligent than other people, so you undermine them because you think that you are actually better than them. So I want to warn you as well, because this is very, very important for us to understand that as people, we are different. So our thoughts are different. Our intelligence level is different as well. So we plan things differently because we think differently. So therefore, we must sit and be comfortable with the fact that we are not the same. Therefore, our thinking can never be the same as well. So I want to end up here today. Your host, Micornus, Phokane. I think that we have actually exhausted this one. You will actually learn out of this and be part of part 2 as we deal with part 2 tomorrow. But I want to remind you of our Facebook page, Young Men Empowerment Forum, Facebook page, Micornus Phokane. Like those pages, make sure that you click notification buttons and that you be notified of the videos that we post. Remember our YouTube channel as well. Don't forget, subscribe to our YouTube channel. Please be aware that we post materials every week and every time, and there are a lot of materials in there that will help you as a young man in your life. I want to check out right here. Allow me to check out and say cheers for now.